5 Insane and Unnerving Facts About the Vampire Richard Chase. Do you trust in vampires? Have you ever known about the genuine Dracula? Women and men of their word. I currently present Richard Chase. Richard Chase was a chronic executioner who unnerved Northern California during the last part of the 1970s, and keeping in mind that he isn't as productive as your normal Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer, his killings tell a story of dysfunctional behavior and madness that couple of the others can satisfy. Referred to likewise as the vampire killer and the vampire killer, Chase was an exacting, all things considered, vampire. Truly, he drank the blood of his casualties. With an executing binge from 1977 to 1978, Chase scared the city of Sacramento with his bloodlust and ruthlessness. Despite the brief length of his homicides, Chase was and will stay one of the most alarming chronic executioners to actually live. His strange thinking behind his grisly wrongdoings is sufficient to strike dread into every single one of us, just unadulterated, avaricious bloodthirst. Here are 10 of the most curved realities about Richard Chase which acquire him his imprint as one of the most terrible, yet captivating people in mankind's set of experiences. Number 1. Sociopath, Schizophrenic, and Addict. The McDonald triad is a clinical marker used to decide whether a kid has a probable possibility of in the long run turning into a sociopath. Pursue met each of the 3 standards of the Turnian of sociopathy. He was a persistent bedwetter by the age of 8, and by age 10 he jumped at the chance to set flames and furthermore murder creatures. These are characteristics imparted to other chronic executioners like Jeffrey Dahmer. Sociopaths, additionally alluded to as sociopaths or people with reserved character problem, are people who have a blunted feeling of compassion, a tendency towards danger, savagery, and control, joined with a total absence of regret for anybody they hurt. Sociopaths know directly from wrong. They just couldn't care less and continue to do whatever their dim hearts want. After his catch, 2 specialists established that Chase displayed 0 indications of regret or blame for the wrongdoings he had committed. Sociopathy is frequently comorbid with, exists close by, chronic drug use and liquor abuse, 2 things Chase likewise experienced when he was youthful and on into adulthood. His possible self-destruction would be a purposeful medication overdose. He likewise outstandingly leased one of his first lofts with companions where he barricaded the windows so he could take LSD and smoke weed without the dread of being seen. Consolidate the entirety of this with his steady depression and the way that he was a suspicious schizophrenic. This person was the banner kid for unfavorable psychological sickness, with a few mental problems torturing him which without a doubt added to, if not hard and fast caused, the dread he would rule on society. Number 2. He always carried a gun. Energized by his distrustful schizophrenia, by the age of 22 Richard Chase was captured for ownership of a gun. This would not be the last time he got captured with a firearm. He generally conveyed a weapon any place he went, continuously. He would keep on conveying weapons for an incredible duration and his typical strategy for slaughtering was a .22 gauge gun. It is protected to state that because of his distrustfulness and huge psychological wellness issues, he was continually pressing warmth and prepared to end the lives of others. On August 3, 1977, Chase's truck was found almost a Native American reservation where police found a .30-30 rifle, alongside another rifle, and his marked .22 gauge gun inside. They likewise found that he had taken a dairy animal's liver and eliminated it, setting it in a can and spreading the blood on his exposed body. Anyway, tribal and federal land require government arraignment, and the United States District Attorney chose to retain indictment. Number 3. Rage and erectile dysfunction. Stifled indignation would be a subject that ran for a mind-blowing duration, and he would take it out on his companions, family, friends and above all else his casualties. In the last part of the 1960s, at 18 years of age, his inward indignation was at that point so extraordinary that a specialist determined him to have erectile brokenness, referring to his smothered wrath as an immediate reason. As a youngster, Chase couldn't keep up an erection without murdering creatures. That is one never-endingly irritated chronic executioner. His energy was extreme to the point that in an episode in 1977, when he was 27 years of age, Chase rang his mom's doorbell to pay her an unexpected visit, and when she opened the entryway, tossed a dead feline into her face that he had newly killed. Andrei Chikatilo, the butcher of Rostov, is another outstanding chronic executioner who experienced erectile brokenness, to such an extent, that he was unable to accomplish an erection with his better half or his casualties until after they were being choked, tormented, or were at that point dead. Number 4. He drank the blood of animals. It is difficult for me to try and envision ingesting the blood of creatures without my stomach turning in queasy fierceness. Give me a quiet gesture here in case you're a similar way. Pursued, dismantled, ate, and drank the blood of creatures sometime before he submitted his first homicide. By the age of 10, while most of us were playing kickball and messing around with our companions on the Wilderness Rec Center, Richard Chase was at that point executing and dissecting creatures so he could drink their blood, a fixation which would follow him all through an amazing remainder. Not exclusively was this person sufficiently contorted to truly chase and murder living individuals so he could drink their blood, however he would likewise drink creature blood from various animals over a mind-blowing span. He held a profound center conviction that blood, and no one but blood, could spare him from his distrustful daydreams. Number 5. Necrophilies. Richard Chase was eminently a necrophiliac, which means he would pet and perform sexual follows-up on his casualties. In 1978, Chase entered the home of Evelyn Muroth, who he would inevitably kill alongside her 6-year-old child, Jason, and her 22-month-old nephew, David Ferreira. He would then proceed to sodomize Evelyn's body. As with his past homicide of Teresa Wallin, who he additionally assaulted after death, Chase shot his casualty multiple times before utilizing a blade to wound her while he assaulted her carcass consistently. He at that point eviscerated his casualty, eliminating organs, and ate Wallin's single, cut-off areola. Close by his necrophilic propensities, Chase was a coprophiliac, which means he had a urgent fixation on the ingestion of human dung.